Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gen Sense. It is indeed winter, and it's not being kind to me. So I apologize if I sound a little bit stuffy. I will persevere. I will survive. But with winter in mind though, we will be talking winter fragrances today, or fragrances better suited for chilly weather. And these are not just any fragrances. These ones are sexy attention grabbers that really just the pros know about. Which means you, of course. You're a pro. I know you. You are. Don't be shy. Don't be humble. So you're gonna know all of these here today, every single one of them. I know that for a fact. But then you can brag to people and you can say, hey, I watched this video, you know, about fragrances only pros know about. I knew about all of them. It'd be very impressive, trust me. A great way to break the ice with the ladies. Don't try that. But yeah, these ones, these are more under the radar fragrances. So these are gonna be scents from houses that are, you know, not really that well known for their fragrances. So you're not gonna find any Dior's here, no Chanel's, no Yves Saint Laurent, no Armani, no Versace, nothing like that. And these are all designers. Some of them are extremely cheap as well. And each one of these is gonna be linked down there in the description. So feel free to check them out down there. Also feel free to check out these codes right here. Here they are, here's some codes. Feel free to use them, or don't. I don't care. And look at this. Look at that. My little small travel sizes, they are available. Look at that. Just make a little Lego set. So we got Jet Black Enigma here, Terra Nova right here, 10 mil size. You can pick these up at Michael Malloy's website. It slides out like that right there. And then 15 mils of the new ones, West Loop and Edgewater. So if you want to take these on the go, if you want to try them out without spending too much money first, I'm glad those didn't break just now, then you can check that out at Michael Malloy's website, link in the description. Those are the fragrances I creatively directed. Of course, the perfumers are the real masters there, but I was just like, I got an idea. Can you do something with it? And they were like, yeah, sure. All right, let's get into these fragrances. We got some doozies in here, and I want to start with the dooziest of them all. It's none other than Philip Pline. Yes. It's a good day when you can work a Philip Pline fragrance into a video. Philip Pline, No Limits. No Limits. Look at this. It's a little, oh, upside down. Little credit card. What is that? Oh, that's a lot of money. No limits. Dang. That's $1 trillion. Technically it's a limit, but $1 trillion. So Alberto Marias did this fragrance. And if you have never seen the Philip Pline commercial, I gotta say it every time, okay? You gotta check it out. Just go to YouTube after this video and type it in, Philip Pline No Limits commercial, whatever. It's the pinnacle of fragrance advertising. It truly is, honestly. Like, what would you rather watch? Be honest here. Would you rather watch the Philip Pline No Limits Ultimate Cringe Fest commercial, or would you rather watch, you know, Natalie Portman running through like a town finding some dude, and then it's like, Chanel. It's a feeling. No, you want the Philip Pline, okay? We all do. Admit it. There's also another new Philip Pline fragrance that's come out in this line that I don't have yet that I need to get. So maybe I'll be able to pick that up soon. We'll have some more Pline action on this channel. Now this one is a leather scent, very spicy. I think it smells actually really good. I was extremely impressed the first time I smelled this because frankly, after seeing that commercial, I was expecting it to be, what's the term? God awful. Yeah, but no, it's actually really nice. It smells a little bit like a much more wearable Gucci Guilty Absolute with more of a sparkling spiciness to it, which of course Alberto Marias also did that one. So, you know, kind of similar leather accords. So yeah, ultimately what you have here is very rich, bold fragrance with a little bit of sweetness, good amount of spice, woods, that leather, a touch of chocolate, vanilla, cinnamon, all that going on here. It's not gonna be the easiest thing to wear for everybody out there, but I do think it absolutely makes a statement. And actually most people that I've had smell this think it smells great in the air. Just as long as you can get over the whole, you know, Philip Pline thing. Let's go insanely cheap for the next one. It is Jacques Bogart's Bogart Parfum. So this one you can find for under $20 at discounters. A lot of times about 15. And for that price, the quality here is crazy. Has a good amount of tonka in it, and it's been compared off and on to Pure Havane from Mugler, which is of course long since discontinued and quite pricey. Now do be aware, this is not really a one-to-one with pure Havana, and frankly, there are a lot of differences between the two. This is much cleaner, it's fresher, it doesn't have that like honey tobacco vibe going on here really. I mean, you could smell it and maybe, you know, piece out a tobacco kind of feel from it, even though there's not tobacco as an official accord or note in here. Instead, you have a good amount of tonka, you have lavender, a little citrus, some florals in there. Has like a classically masculine feel to it. Again, from that lavender being a prominent part of the scent. And then that tonka sweetens it up as it dries down. It smells really nice. I think anybody could pull it off. It might appeal a little more to middle-aged and older, but younger guys can wear this as well. And for a bargain bin dumpster clearance price point, this stuff is about as good as you're gonna get. Again, about 15 bucks. Like, that's what? Close to what a can of Axe costs. So yeah, pretty solid. Now this next one is one that I have long loved. It is Halloween Man X. And actually this brings up a frustration of mine. The new Halloween Man mystery, I mean, I'll get it eventually, but I've been looking off and on since it was announced and since it came out, and I haven't been able to find a bottle. Like, what is the deal here? Every other Halloween Man I've been able to find without much trouble. They come out with a new one. Impossible. Halloween. I need my Halloween kick. Give me the mystery. Actually, I heard it kind of sucks, but I'm hoping it doesn't. This one though, this one is my favorite from the house. And it's another one that kind of like the old PP over here, Philip Pline. You know, some people it's not gonna work for, but for the people that it does work for, it's fantastic. Again, price point, really good on this one. Typically from discounters, you're not gonna have to pay too much. Has a nice coffee accord in there, kind of a roast coffee. Got some booze in there, a little boozy sweetness, some leather as well. It has good performance, nice projection, good longevity, some warm spices there off the top as well, mixing with that coffee. And it's one I've always had great success with. I don't wear it as much as I used to, but when I go back to it, I fall in love again and again. So Halloween Man X, another one you should know about. That one was hyped pretty decently when it first came out because of the reasons I mentioned. Pretty good performance, doesn't cost that much, nice coffee note, little booze, leather, wearable during the cool weather, but it doesn't get hyped like it used to. Still though, I mean, if we're talking your average person, I don't know what Halloween Man is. If we're talking in the US, tell them I'm wearing a Halloween fragrance, they're gonna be like, what? Halloween was at the end of October. Moron. Up next, we got a cheapie from Lagerfeld, Bois d'Ambre, and I can tell you this line in general is pretty solid, like all of them, when you consider how cheap they are from discounters. So this one's gonna hit you around that $30 to $35 price point typically, and it has some similarities to Hugo Boss's The Scent, which is kind of interesting because that scent profile really just is in the scent, right? One of those things where you smell the scent and you know it's the scent, and part of that is because of the Maninka that's used in most of those fragrances across the line. This one has a bit of a similarity to the scent, but it's more so the ambery feel from the Hugo Boss that you pick up in here. You also have a little bergamot in here off the top, a little clary sage. It's not anything that's like super complex. You know, it's not something that's got like this opening that changes drastically into the mid, into the dry down. That's not really what you're getting here. At the end of the day, this is more a warm, sexy, simple, easy wearing fragrance for fall and winter time. You know, it's that type of scent that you could easily wear on a date or in a situation where you want something a little more inviting. It's perfect for that. So basically the times that you would wear the scent, or Dolce & Gabbana's The One, something like that, that's when you would wear this. And it does smell really well done, even though it's quite simple, because it is, again, very warm, sweet, and sexy. All right, going Banana Republic next. I haven't talked about Banana Republic fragrances in a minute, but this one fits in really well. Tobacco and tonka bean. I will say that this line, this collection from Banana Republic is in general really well done. Of course, they have some that stick out more than others, like some that are a little better done than others, but across this whole line, is at the Icon collection, it's really well done. So what makes this one unique is it has, of course, what it says on the front there, tobacco and tonka bean. Then it also makes use of plum and coconut, interestingly enough. So it gives you a very unique kind of open. You know, it's not hitting you with that typical grapefruit or bergamot or apple or something like that. No, plum and coconut. So it's really sweet, has this kind of like vanilla feel to it, but then also nice deepness to it. It is something that I think guys or gals could both pull off. I know a lot of guys really love this one, but ladies can wear it and smell just as good. And in general, this is one of the best fragrances that Banana Republic has out. But again, pretty much any of the ones that come in this bottle style, whether the original ones that were in a clear bottle or the newer ones that are colored, they are all really nice. So don't sleep on those, even though it's just Banana Republic, you know, mall fragrances or whatever, they're still very, very nice and they punch outside of their weight class. Okay, next one I've talked about decent amount since I got it in. It is Lalique's Ombre Noir. This one is just a stunner. And again, your average person, they're not gonna know about this. This is just something between us, right? Us fragrance people, you know, people that are in the know. So this one has tobacco, cognac, and myrrh, among many other notes. Presentation, pretty simple, but very classy looking, very elegant looking. Quality is just nuts. It is kind of interesting to go to this one after these. These are all fantastic scents, but by and large, most of these pretty affordable. And it's not that this is expensive, but it does smell a little more expensive than I think most of these when you kind of, you know, go one after the other. But to be fair, Lalique in general, I think their fragrances kind of have that vibe. At discounters, they're not that expensive usually, but when you smell them, they smell like they should be, because at retail they kind of are. Little green off the top, and then that leads you into all those rich, bold, expressive, deep notes as it dries. It smells elegant. It smells like, I've said like twice now, rich. Just a perfect scent for cool weather. This stuff is just top notch. It is maybe something that you would think of as more of a formal fragrance. So I would say absolutely it's easier to wear in more situations like this one or this one or this one or this one. But for the times that this works, it is lights out. Let's go very cheap again with Guess Seductive Homme Noir, which, you know, Guess fragrances are kind of like the Bogart over here. A lot of times 20 bucks is what you're looking at to pick this up, which I guess the technical name on this is Guess Seductive Noir Homme, I think. I always get this one like screwed up as far as how the official name goes. Guess Homme Seductive Noir sounds like that would make more sense because it's in the Guess Homme line, but then I think it's officially Guess Seductive Noir Homme. This one has some similarities to other things out there, namely 1 Million from Paco Rabanne. It's kind of in that style. This one has a really nice sweet apple off the top. Pick it up as soon as you spray this one on. Has tonka as it dries down, a decent amount of it. You also have a little creamy sandalwood in there, some citrus off the top, a touch of nutmeg also. So you get a really nice, lively opening with good sweetness, and then as it dries down, some creamy kind of warmth that comes out. That sounds weird. Creamy warmth, what everybody's looking for in their fragrance. But still, this is another fragrance that's very well done, very cheap, and doesn't necessarily smell cheap. So it's a great little, you know, hidden gem in there for somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of money, but they still want to smell nice. Because I can tell you guys, many years ago, I was looking for fragrances. Of course, I mean, I've been doing that for beginning of time, but I didn't have a lot of money and I was wanting to add stuff to the collection. Again, this was years ago, way before I started the channel. And I bought some stuff from Rue 21, which is like a clothing store. It's not too expensive, but they have fragrances. And I bought, I think like three that they had. And they sucked. They were really bad. And I paid easily for each one of those, more than what I paid for this, more than what I paid for that, more than what I paid for this. And so it's one of those deals where, you know, even if you don't have a lot of money, you can still have stuff that has you smelling really nice. And those Rue 21 fragrances really stuck with me just because of how aggressively, chemically, and synthetic they smell. Just, they were really not pleasant. And so even though you may say, oh yeah, this, you know, and this, it's not in the same ballpark as like this really high-end stuff, it still smells so much nicer than a lot of the other crap that's out there in this price range. So you want to get those ones in the price range that actually work. All right, another one I've been talking about a little bit, Bion EDP Parfum Intense. This stuff I think is crazy good. I love the opening of this. It's one of my favorite openings, period, right now. Has been actually ever since I got it. It's just the way that the fruitiness comes across in the open mixed with these darker notes underneath, I think is just expertly done. So you got citrus, you have apple, pink pepper. It smells killer, fruity, sweet, but still good quality. You know, it doesn't come across like bubble gum. It doesn't come across grating. It doesn't have like a, you know, candy kind of cheapy sweetness. None of that. And then as it dries down, you get some oud that comes out, but it's more that, you know, kind of dark woodiness, not barnyardy, anything like that. Have some patchouli, you know, little touch of earthiness in there without the dirt following it in. I just think this is fantastic. It is more of a sophisticated scent. So it is gonna be another one kind of like the Lalique over here that maybe you would wear in more formal situations, but I think it has some good versatility as well. And that opening just, it gets me every time. So this right here, Bion EDP Parfum Intense, this is fantastic. And I would say out of all these I'm gonna talk about here today, that's the one I would wear the most right now, and then probably the Lalique after that. Even though it's not as versatile, just this one, really nice. After that, Chopard Black Incense Malaki, which has, you know, some very faint similarities to Gucci Guilty Absolute, which Philip Pline over here also has similarities to that one. So yeah, and why does it have that similarity? Well, it's that leather accord again, yeah. Now this one has a similar leather accord as the other two. I will say of the three, that this one comes across probably the most refined. It has more of an elegant touch to it. It does have a smokiness. It has resins in there. It is gonna be for somebody who wants a fragrance that's bold, that stands out, that smells like $1 million. But, you know, kind of like the Bogart, probably going to appeal more to guys middle-aged and older once again. I can't imagine too many like teenage people or like early 20s wanting to wear this one. It does have a little bit of like a suit and tie feel to it. And I will say Chopard has some fragrances that are top notch, like just absolutely top notch. So do try them out if you ever get the chance. I know that, you know, if you've never smelled them and maybe you look at the bottle and just how it has like a little sticker on the front, it might look like, you know, it's not the best thing on earth, but these are all pretty much hidden gems. It's like fragrance people who know, and your average person does not. All right, last up, Zadig and Voltaire, this is him. Or is it Zadig and Voltaire? This is him. You really think that, yeah, I should know that for sure. I like to say Zadig. Just rolls off the tongue. So with this one, we got pepper, incense, vanilla, sandalwood. It's a fragrance that, you know, has a really good spicy pop when you first spray it on. The incense is not overwhelming. It's not really like a, you know, heavy smoky incense. Instead, it's giving you that almost spiciness, the way that it comes across. Then as it dries, the vanilla, the sandalwood, they combine together. They really soften things up, brings that sweetness that kind of draws people in. And it does have a little bit of an interesting vibe compared to the more, if you want to call it, mainstream designer fragrances, while still maintaining that wearability during the cooler months. So it kind of walks that line, you know? It's not like doing what everything else is doing, but it's not so far removed from it that it's difficult to wear. Good performance on this one as well. So a lot to like about it. And it's one of those ones that, once again, in the US anyway, most people not gonna know about. So there we go. These 10 right here, all of them really solid choices for cool weather. Got some in here that are extremely cheap if you don't have too much money to spend. Got some that are a little bit more challenging in case you want something bolder, but all of these work very well. So that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.
Thank you.